Welcome to the RDV Sportsplex here in Maitland, Florida on a Martin Luther King Day. Our big hockey tournament is winding up with one last big game. It's the u18 AA finals here at the tournament between the Atlanta Knights and the Orlando Junior Knights, a rematch of a game last night, and we're very anxious to get this going to see just how it turns out. Both these teams big, fast, and furious. The game was extremely exciting last night, and we expect more of the same today. Boy, what a great tournament it's been. Let me tell you a little bit about the Martin Luther King Day tournament. 50 teams from all across the U.S. and Canada came down here to Orlando, Florida, a little suburb named Maitland, where the beautiful RDV Sportsplex, part of the MVP Sports facilities, beautiful place to play hockey, and it's been fantastic, all the way from 6 years old all the way up to the u18 AA, which you will see here today. It's been very exciting to watch these teams meet each other, come together, have their programs, get to know each other a little bit, and it's been a whole lot of fun. I'm Bill Schaefer. Kyle Schreck is alongside, and we'll be bringing you the play-by-play. Kyle, welcome to the broadcast booth.
Thanks for having me, Bill.
Both teams have made their way to the ice, and I'm sure we'll be
the singing of the national anthem
underway in just a moment. First, let's pause and listen to Mary Schaefer with the national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Well, that was Miss Mary Schaefer with a national anthem, and you know what that means, folks? We're just about set for some great hockey action. Big tilt coming up here, Kyle. These are the big boys going at it.
They are. These are the big kids. These are the U18, so the biggest, fastest, strongest of everybody in the game. Hey, by the way, did you marry that anthem singer for her singing voice, or?
You should hear her do the Canadian national anthem is all I got to add to that.
We got Atlanta in their Boston College-looking modern jerseys here, and we got the Junior Knights in their Pittsburgh Penguins replicas here. So,
Kyle is manager of the RDV Sportsplex Ice Den. How's the tournament gone from your perspective?
it's been an amazing weekend. We've had sold a lot of stuff, had a ton of people through the building. We've just had a great time doing it.
And so many people seeing this facility for the first time. You know, there's still plenty of people in Central Florida, if you're not directly involved in a program, that still don't know just what a jewel this place is.
Yeah, I mean, originally I'm from Pennsylvania. I've played at a ton of rinks in my life, and this is one of the beauts. There's one rink in Buffalo that I think's nicer, and other than that, we definitely have a quality facility here. So,
look at Atlanta now. When these two teams played last night, the Knights really kept control of the game. One of the keys to the Orlando Knights, and maybe we'll call them Orlando and Atlanta the whole time since they're both Knights. Orlando has success by forechecking. They pinch their defensemen constantly. They have very mobile puck-carrying defensemen, and it really puts a lot of pressure on a team in its own end. We saw Atlanta have luck when they were able to break the press, basically, and keep the play in the Knights' end. They saw everything Orlando has to offer. They lost handily last night, but it was, in a way, it was like a scouting expedition, so now they know what they have to do.
Right, and when you have a team that pinches a lot, it's a very risk-reward style system. If you get burned while you're pinching, it's going to be odd man rushes all night. So they definitely need to watch out for that when Atlanta gains control. The guys need to drop back.
So these two teams very familiar with each other. It's great to have the Atlanta programs come down. The Fire down here, they brought some great teams as well. And this team has also shown itself very well too. The Atlanta area, youth hockey is burgeoning, even though they lost their NHL team. There still is a very thriving youth hockey program in the Atlanta area.
Right, and they still got their coast team up there. They got the Gladiators, so Gwinnett Gladiators, who play against our Solar Bears every so often, but they still have quality pro hockey up there too. So
man, Danny Hoflich with a big head of steam was able to keep the puck in the zone. Craven goes after it. Craven's a sneaky player. All of a sudden there he is in a great position with the puck, very dangerous as well. Look at Hoflich pinch. That's exactly what we were talking about, Kyle. Jake Brown keeps it behind the net again, back out on the point to Hoflich, steps into the slot, fires it wide, hit the ref. Play continues. Jeff Pearson. Pearson to Danny Hill at the point, and that just fails to be deflected in the front by Jake Brown. It's 25 for Atlanta. Brett Scholes, what a great player he is, gets it over to Garrett Myers. Myers can't get it out of his zone, though. Heavy hitting there, and finally the puck does come to center.
Big pile up there. Looked like a car wreck.
Scholes gets it out of the zone, and it goes all the way down the ice. A Knight player charges after it, but it crosses the red line first, and the call is icing.
Yeah, if you saw it on that last play, just what we were talking about, the defense coming up, the right defenseman ended up in the high slot before he took that shot. So.
I saw that. I was like, you should have stayed over there.
See, the official heard you say that, and he said he saw that. We have a mic on one of the referees tonight, and they graciously have agreed to wear that, and hopefully we'll be able to hear some plays that we can get clarification on, or they'll help us understand just what's going on. Look at Goodman push the puck ahead. The Knights get, oh boy, Razan. What a great opportunity for Cam Razan. It was Johnny on the spot, right on the doorstep. The puck was smothered by the Atlanta goaltender, and we will have a face-off. Trevor Dean picking up where he left off with a great night in the nets. Knights get it again. Razan, shot deflects into the corner. He goes in after the rebound. He's the first one there to get. Over to an off wing, tries to hit Matt Davis, who deflects it forward to Brandon Beard. Beard is beaten to the puck by number 7, Andy Weakland. Big shot by Beard and a nice save by Dean, and we'll have a stoppage in action.
And Matt Davis is just one of those kids that just hustles all the time, skates his heart out every single shift. So just watch for that. He makes some big plays, forechecking, and just a solid line mate. Just digs in the corners, gritty, one of those kind of guys.
Kyle, last spring we took a select team to the NHL pre-draft tournament in Boston, and I had Matt Davis on my team, and we played against a team that had a couple of guys that were 6'7", trying to get exposure in front of the scouts, and Davis was one of the few guys that was standing up and playing the body, and if he's 5'3", it's a lot.
Right, he's small, but he fights it. It's not always the big guys that he fights it. It's not always the big guys that are the toughest guys.
Yeah, the cliche, it's not the size of the player, but the size of the heart in the player, and he's a perfect example of that, and there he is with the puck.
Right.
Brandon Beard, another guy who's all heart with the puck in the corner. Twirls to make a play. He's got Dylan Scammon. Scammon back to Beard to Scammon. Tries from a bad angle to center it out, and it's knocked aside. Another chance for the Knights, and it's knocked away as Clay Janowiak just had it roll off his stick. And here comes Atlanta, 44, Raines Cook, has it knocked away from him. Picks it up once more. Garrett Myers tries to get it out of the zone, but it goes back behind Atlanta net. They've been bottled up again here in the period, just like they were last night. They need to figure out a way to get past the Orlando forecheck and work into the Orlando end. They need to play more of this game in the Orlando end of the ring.
Well, Orlando had 4 guys up on that forecheck in the offensive zone. It's almost unheard of seeing that many guys up that far. So they only have 1 guy back.
Hoflich, big shot. DePaulo right out in front. This is McGrath, DePaulo, And Liam McGrath, right, DePaulo, and who was the third forward out there? I think it was Jeffrey Pearson, creating problems in front of the Atlanta goaltender. You see why it's such a difficult team to play against. Like you said, they do pinch the defense on both sides. Here goes McGrath there on the forecheck. Pearson's right there with him. And Atlanta does a nice job to get it out. Bartolo over to an open wing where it's picked up by Aaron George. He can't play it. Now Brandon Trevino over for Bartolo. And we've got a stoppage in play. You might have a referee.
10. Yeah.
There it is. It's going to be a penalty.
10. Can't duck under the check like that. No.
And it's going to go against Atlanta.
Go explain it to them. They don't understand it.
Brandon Trevino's going to get
10. He's got a minor.
2 minutes for a trip, and you heard the referee explaining you can't duck underneath him.
It's really great having a referee with
it's a dangerous
microphone
play, Mo.
on.
If he hits him at the knees, he takes him out. He's got to receive the check the right way, you know?
Now, that's great to hear, too, Kyle, is the referee explained to the coach why he made the call. We talk about the refs, really, with the mic on. They're almost like an extra coach on the ice for a lot of these guys, explaining what they saw. You know, sometimes the players aren't sure. And it's great when the referee can take the time to explain what's going on. So we've got a night power play here in Atlanta. Wants to make sure that they kill this one off. The Knights put that forecheck back on with a man advantage. Zalic, Razan, Danny Hill, back to Zalic. He's got Brandon Beard down low. Looks right out front. He's got Razan in front of the net. Beard still behind the net. Tries to walk out front.
Easy! Easy!
Waits for something to happen to Zalic in the slot. He scores! Chris Zalic, far down.
That's it. Get away. Hey, figure it out.
And the Orlando Knights have a 1-0 lead on a beautiful shot by Chris Zalic, right point blank, bar down.
Yeah, you see when the puck got in close to the net, Atlanta's box was collapsing down right around the crease. They got the puck out wide. The forwards ended up coming out further on the defenseman. That opened up the lane for the high slot. And sure enough, banged it home right there.
35 seconds into the man advantage. The Knights get on the board. 7:27 left in the first period. Orlando has a 1-0 lead, and look at Atlanta trying to change the tide. Raines Cook comes in and gets a shot that's knocked aside. Puck comes out to center. And look at the forecheck. Once again, two Knights double team the Atlanta forward, the Atlanta defenseman, and they have all kinds of trouble getting out of the zone. Instead of breaking out with a play, Kyle, they just have to blindly clear the zone with a pass.
Look at that. They have possession. All five are inside the zone. They're really taking advantage of it. But if Atlanta can sneak a guy out there, they can maybe find him on that long pass, that two-liner, and maybe do some dangerous things with it.
Puck in the Knights' end now. Not for long. Here comes Jeff Pearson. One-on-one, big shot off the pipe. Still had the penalty on the board, but I believe that was waved off after the power play goal. 5 aside again. 41 is Clay Janowiak, tries to get the puck up, and it comes to Pearson.
Let's go.
Pearson tried to find Miskell. Pass was behind him. Miskell goes in on the forecheck. Atlanta breaks it out nicely. You see what you can do when you don't have players in front of you? This is their game. Puck goes into the corner. They do a little forechecking. It's Cam Kirshner. Knights hold it in. Kirshner with the puck in the corner. Gets it ahead to Brent Stoles. Over on an open wing now. Two players battle for it.
Easy.
There. It comes up along the boards.
Look, boys, let's go. Let's move it. Let's move it.
You hear the referee imploring them to keep the puck
there you
going.
go. Hey, it's gone. Here you go. Easy, boys. Hey, away from the puck. Knock it off.
Centered out in front now. Cam Kirshner loses the puck to Miskell. Miskell's second effort gets it to center, and here comes Razan. Cam Razan, 1-on-2, gets a shot off, and it trickles behind the net. Razan gets his own rebound. That's just dogged pursuit there. Razan again in front. Oh, and a beautiful save by Dean.
Razan had two guys all over him on
He's
that.
still with the puck.
He still has it. It's unbelievable.
Two guys on him. Danny Hoflick got the puck at center and turned it right back down. And boy, it's hard to play when you're facing your own back wall half the game.
Yeah, Razan got popped at the end there. He came up a little gingerly.
Tanner Woodson moved in, but it was 1-on-2 when the Knights take over there. Brandon Beard starts up on his off wing. Nice spin move to get away from the check, and here he comes 3-on-2. Beard shot deflects high up into the rafters. I thought a piece of the ceiling might come down along with it. The Atlanta Knights against the Orlando Junior Knights. This is u18 AA Championship action from the RDV Sportsplex in Maitland, Florida, just outside of Orlando. Thrilled to have you with us on Night Vision. This is our gift to you, a way to keep you involved in the action and in the game, even if you're at work, even if you're out of town, even if you're here at the rink and are watching it on your smartphone or iPad and listening along to the play-by-play. Here comes Bartolo, moves the puck ahead to number 71, Aaron George, into the zone, but Danny Hill is there in the Orlando defense to take it. Good forecheck by Rains. Cook keeps it in. Beard picks up for Orlando to Scammon. Scammon has to turn. Rink-wide pass across to his defense partner, Hoflick.
Well, dangerous doing that in your own zone, trying to go rink-wide like that.
That's Atlanta's version of what the Knights have been doing on the forecheck, and they need to continue that. They need to play more of this game in the Orlando end. 4:12 to go in the first period of play. Territorial advantage to Orlando, and the main reason has been the forecheck and the pinching defenseman. But now Atlanta with a chance to maybe change the tide a little bit as they push in the Orlando end. Knights break out off the board, fire it up to center. The defender falls down. Liam McGrath goes after it with number 7, Andy Weekland. Comes around on the boards. The defense is there to hold it in. McGrath looks to center. That just missed, but there's Goodman at the point. Goodman fires it high, doesn't get through. Second chance now for Zalic. Zalic's got DePaulo in front. Tries to find him. Can't get the handle on the rebound, and the puck comes all the way down the ice. And the play is whistled down on an icing call. Great pressure by Orlando in front of the net.
Yeah, they're looking good down there. But like you said, Atlanta had the puck down in our zone down in Orlando's zone for that face-off, and defensive zone face-offs are just so important. You got to win those clean. If you get that out to if Atlanta wins those face-offs, it's easy shots. So
Zalic wins this one for the Orlando Knights into the corner where McGrath battles against Cook. Now DePaulo with the puck behind the net. Quickly back out to the point to Goodman, back to DePaulo, spreading the ice, forcing the defenseman to run around. McGrath, who's a pretty big kid, forces Atlanta to go the other way with it. It's behind the net. 2 men from Orlando on one of the Atlanta players.
Let's go.
Finally, 15,
Let's
Tanner
go.
Woodson is able to find some room and brings the puck into the
Figure it out.
offensive zone. Comes
Figure
around on
it
the
out.
boards where number 13, Cam Kirshner, picks it up there. This line is the one that had the success on the last shift. Bartolo loses it. And here come the Knights for Zalic. He's got some speed. Zalic in on goal. On the backhand. One save. Rebound. Couldn't find the open goal. Chris Zalic with a great burst of speed. Knights still on the attack. Craven forces the play up the boards. Held in by Dan Hill. Back behind the net. Again, the Knights work it. Comes back to the point. Knocked down in front. Jake Brown with a backhand that trickles wide. Craven again. Centers it. Nothing but white jerseys in front of the goal. Atlanta gets it, and you wonder, where do they go with it? It just goes off the boards and all the way down the ice for an icing call.
I mean, Atlanta needs to take control in front of their own net. There's just too many white jerseys, not enough maroon jerseys down there. You got to pop a guy once in a while and let him know this is your house.
Right at her.
I think a key also is keeping the Orlando team more to the perimeter. Maybe Atlanta needs to pull its defense in a little tighter and force the Knights to the outside.
Well, now, this is an Olympic-sized rink. It's 15 feet wider than most of the rinks these kids are used to playing on, the Atlanta teams, I'm sure. Orlando practices here, they play here. They're used to this Olympic-sized rink, and oftentimes speed will dominate on the bigger ice surface. So if you've watched a KHL game or any Olympic games, typically the faster teams will prevail on an Olympic-sized sheet.
After the shot by Janowiak and a save by Dean from the face-off, Atlanta has the puck behind their own net. Bob Benz whips it around, but see, there's that pressure again. It's held in, but finally, here comes Atlanta on a rush. Atlanta works into the zone. Aaron George, dangerous player, centers it right out in front on a nice pad save. Its puck is kicked into the corner. Jake Brown can't hold it in there. Defensively, here comes Bartolo. Nice shot, big save. Puck lays on the doorstep, and the Knights clear it out of the zone. Number 7, Andy Weekland, brings it right back in for Big Bartolo. They're going to try the exact same thing again. Weekland gets it in. Knights take control. This is Danny Hill.
The last play, Clay Janowek lost his stick behind the net, but still was able to get out there and block the shot. So even if you lose your stick, you gotta stay in the play so you can get over to the bench. So made a great play on that.
Knights start back out. This is Razan, and he's had a heck of a shift last time out. He's going to see if he can pick up where he left off. Flips it rink wide over to Hoflick, picked up by Brandon Beard, who just got onto the ice. There's going to be a penalty against Atlanta. There's the whistle. We'll see what the call is. It's going to be a hook. We'll have to see who it's to.
And Razan's no worse for wear after he came up limping last shift, so looked pretty good skating out there right now.
19, Nick DeSantis, and gets the penalty. And Kyle, you see that a lot when you have a player that's playing like Razan, just flying all over the ice. You have no choice but to put the stick to him, and eventually, if he doesn't score, you're going to have to pull him down somehow.
Right, and as long as they keep their legs moving, the refs are going to call that. But it's the guys that slow down or take dives or stuff like that. The refs aren't going to call that. But if he keeps his legs moving like he did on that play, yeah, they end up making the call and you end up on the power play.
Hoflick has the puck at the point. Looks to make a play. Gets it in for Brandon Beard. The Knights go to town here. That's Keith Smealy. To Hoflick, who moves in. Big shot. Nice save. Puck goes into the corner.
Once again, defensemen down to the dot. They're pinching way in.
And they like to set up shop behind the net, too. Brandon Beard brings it out front across for Smealy. Very patient with the puck to Hoflick. Hoflick flips it in front. Knocked down nicely by the Atlanta player. That's number 25, Brett Scholes, and he fires it down the ice. Minute 15 left in the power play for Orlando. 1-0. Orlando has the lead. 30 seconds to go in period number 1. Smealy looks to work it out. Finds Pearson coming up the wing. Pearson on the left side. Content to take it behind the net. Looks for an opening. You see Scammon pinch low. It comes to McGrath at the line. Holds it in. McGrath gets a screen from Scammon. He sees Brandon Beard. And his shot just fails to click. Scammon again. This time to McGrath. 3 seconds. 2, 1. It's going to end the period, I believe. Scammon can't get it off in time. And it was a great period for the Orlando Knights. And I think Atlanta will call its players over to the boards and say, look, boys, we gave away a territorial advantage, but we are very much in this hockey game. It's 1-0 after 1.
That power play, Orlando, they showed great patience, moving the puck around, not forcing any shots, not forcing any passes, but I think they were a little too patient and ended up running out of clock.
Well, you made a great point, too, Kyle, how when you're playing on the wider surface, it's even more important that if a play isn't there, don't try to force it. Don't give up possession. If you have to curl to the boards, if you have to stop and spin around, do it, because you've got more room.
You got a ton of room out there. Atlanta's, all the sheets up there, I'm pretty sure all of them are pro-size sheets, so they're not used to playing on the bigger ice surface. So.
Well, it's funny. It's only 15 feet, but just from being out there myself, it makes a world of difference.
Hey, I play in the league here. I know how it is. I hate playing defense on this side of the rink.
And the key to that, again, like we talked about before, is you have to not worry as a defenseman. Let the players have the boards. Don't let them penetrate inside the dots.
Yeah,
that's the way we try to.
That's this whole game. You keep them out to the outside, you're going to have success. I have to bring up something from a Solar Bears game that I went to on Thursday night. One of the guys from Orlando scored his first goal in the ECHL.
Scroy?
No, it wasn't Scroy.
Eddie?
No. But I forget the kid's name, but he was on the outside hash marks, on the outside of the circle, and he put it short side on the goalie. The goalie was just awful that night, but it's just something that it very rarely happens where they're 60 feet from the net and they're putting it in. Just angles.
And do you think the story, as that player moves on in his life, the story will be a bit more inflated and more inflated? How he made a move by Ovechkin when he was playing his one game in the minors and fired a laser beam in.
I'm sure. But if you ever talk to guys that have played anywhere, they don't like to talk about it. It's the guys that have never played anywhere that like to prop up their stories. But if guys play pro hockey, they don't talk about it. They're usually very humble.
So let's just say this is a big opportunity here for Atlanta. They've got to kill this penalty off here. Still 30 seconds to go on the Orlando power play. And once that happens, we're going to see the Atlanta Knights try to make something happen to get back in this game and maybe turn the momentum around a little bit. First, they got to worry about stopping Orlando. That Jeffrey Pearson gets the puck in the corner. Looking to set up and make a play. This is Dylan Scammon at the point to Pearson. Oh, Dan Hill went in from his defensive position. They tried to find him there, and the pass got past him. McGrath in the corner. And Matt Davis is going to take an interference penalty there, right? He ran the Atlanta player over. It wasn't intentional, but it was a good call by the officials. We're going to be 4-on-4 for 4 seconds, and Kyle, very important for Atlanta because they will have a power play.
Yeah, it's going to tilt the scales a little bit in Atlanta's favor here for a minute 56, so let's see what they can do with it.
And because of the offensive zone face-off, the face-off comes outside the zone. Atlanta, in 4 seconds, will have a power play for a minute 56 and a chance to tie this game at 1.
Atlanta just needs to show that same kind of patience on their power play and just try to get that open shot.
Danny Hill takes it deep with a bad angle shot. Rebound into the corner, back out of the point. Janowiak shoots it high, and the goaltender, Dean, forced to hang on to it. So a face-off in the offensive zone for Orlando.
Yeah, that's big. That's a big time waster when you're killing a penalty. Get the goalie to cover up on the puck. Puck stays in Atlanta's end. That kills off a few more seconds of that power play.
Best way to kill a power play is not let them have the puck in your zone.
Absolutely.
Fan from the face-off, a nice shot by Jake Brown. Steered into the corner. Brown on the forecheck again. And when you can be that relentless, Brown again tries to bring it out for wraparound. He could have just held it back there too.
Creating all kinds of havoc.
Right. And not only does that embolden your team, but it's very demoralizing to a team that's trying to capitalize on a power play opportunity. But here comes Garrett Myers with a nice shot himself.
It kept him to the outside, and that's the goalie has the angle when they're that far outside.
Yeah,
so.
Great job of hanging onto the rebound too, because that's where the problems come from. You know, a one-on-one play like that, you'll take that. You want to make sure that a team doesn't set up in your zone, or teams don't have odd man rushes into your end, or teams don't have a second and third and fourth chance on rebounds.
Coaches at this level, they'll pine all over the players for keeping their shots low because you're going to get rebounds if you keep that puck down on the ice.
Look at the forecheck here, even to man short. It forces Atlanta to make a play they don't want to. They just shoot it to center where the Knights take over.
Tick, tick, tick. Tick, tick, tick. Time's ticking off that penalty, so.
Brent Scholl's nice pass to Bartolo, takes a hit and keeps on coming. The second hit, though, removes him from the puck, and it bounces back to Hoflick, who shoots it all the way down the ice. Scholes over to Bartolo, gets the puck up, brought up by Raines Cook. 3-on-2 into the zone. Cook drops it back to Bartolo, back to Cook. Working the puck very well. Bartolo into the corner now, goes back for Cook, who had been dumped by DePaulo. The two of them battle along the boards. Bartolo's going to pick the loose puck up. Nice move to come out in front. He's got a man open on the point, can't get the puck back to him. DePaulo picks it up there and clears it, but not out. Got to finish. Into the corner is Cook, centers it out in front for George, and George has a defender all over him, couldn't get the play, but he picks it up again in the corner. George leaves it for Bartolo. Looking to find an open man, he does. Quick shot, goes behind the net. That's George with it in the corner, taken away by Goodman, who fires it up out of the zone. The penalty is over. Matt Davis is back out for the Knights. Here comes Scholes. Scholes walks around the outside. He's got a man in front, fires it across. Oh, my goodness. And did Raines Cook ever wish he had another chance at that one? Because he fired it high over the top of the net.
I think somebody got a piece of it in front, but they ended up with a 3-on-1 down low there, and that usually spells disaster for the defense.
Big shot by Tanner Woodson. The rebound sitting there. Woodson gets the puck again, but it's taken away by Razan, and he's got a chance to find Miskel on a break. But it goes too far, and the play will be blown dead for an icing call. So we see that Atlanta, very capable offensively. They're only down 1-0. They could get right back in this game in a hurry.
They sure can. I mean, a couple mistakes, mistake here, mistake there. Atlanta, like I said, 3-on-1 down low. It usually spells disaster, but shot hit something in front and went over the net.
Big difference there, Kyle, I think, was patience, too.
I think so. I really do.
Atlanta was not rushing the puck. They were controlling it, waiting for that player to open, and looking straight at him when they made those passes, so they were sure passes, and they were able to maintain possession in the zone. Brandon Beard on a steal. Here come the Knights, 3-on-2. Beard into the zone. He's got Miskel with him. Passes knocked away, and a nice defensive play by Hollow Cook. Janowiak fights for it in the corner. Orlando keeps it in, trying to get it out front, but finally the puck bounces all the way back into the Orlando zone. Dan Hill sprints back after it. He's got Brazan on the other corner, comes around here on the forecheck. Comes Cam Kirshner. Knights clear it up where it's controlled by Atlanta. Bob Benz fires it deep and goes off on a line change. Hill tries to bat it away from Tanner Woodson, who had a great shift last time out. Also number 10, Brendan Trevino, working hard down there. Hill gets it around Trevino up to Brazan. Brazan to Beard. Beard tries to find room, which there isn't up the side, but gets it ahead to Miskell. Back to Beard. Beard tried to go to Miskell. Nice backhand shot as the Knights show patience. Beard is the first guy to the loose puck in the offensive zone. Gets it back to Danny Hill right out in front. He saw Brazan there.
Easy.
And that wasn't a shot. That was actually an intended pass, and Brazan just didn't get a chance to deflect it in, and Atlanta shoots it all the way down the ice. No icing call. Atlanta the first one to the puck. That's Will Linehan. Linehan takes a big hit, and back comes Danny Hoflick. Hoflick to Beard. Knights keep coming. Beard finds an open man. It's Dylan Scammon, fired it wide, and Jeffrey Pearson just missed, putting the rebound into the open net. Scammon another try, and it's knocked aside by Dean.
That defenseman came across and blocked that shot from Scammon. Otherwise, that was right in the back of the net. That was a beaut.
Knights, Orlando seems to get chances in bunches.
They are. They're but once again, it's the possessions shifting back to Orlando's favor. It's down in the zone.
You know,
The play earlier, Brandon Beard trying to get through four guys. He got through, just pushing it just a little bit wide.
You know, we've seen a similar scenario with this team in particular, the Orlando team, all tournament long, where they'll have a huge territorial edge in play, and you start to get confident. You start to think that, hey, we've got this under control, and we've seen teams come back on them. Oh, that one right off the post. So, in other words, folks, don't count Atlanta out at all in this one. It's just 1-0, 7:46 to go in the second period of this championship U18 AA contest.
You never know the way something's going to break. Atlanta could get a lucky goal, or just outwork the Knights or outwork Orlando on just one play, tie this thing up, and you never know which way it's going to swing at that point.
Cook for Atlanta has the puck in the corner, now gets it behind the net right out front, and it went through everybody, but comes to the point where it's held in by Scholes. Scholes gets it behind the net. Aaron George goes to pick up there. George tries to leave it for Kirshner. Comes around from Orlando, and out comes Keith Smealy. Smealy, the defenseman. Orlando loves to have their defenseman rush the puck. Drops it to Dylan Scammon. Nice wrister snapper. Goes in for his own rebound. The puck is loose in front, and look who gets it. It's Scammon. Tries on the wraparound. Great stop by Dean. Davis now into the corner. Plenty of room, plenty of time. Gets it to Scammon. Scammon drops it back to Goodman at the point. Wrister doesn't get through. And finally, it's fired all the way down the ice, and it should be an icing call, as Atlanta has no choice but to try to relieve the pressure. 6:46 to go in the second period. It's 1-0 Orlando in the white jerseys. Atlanta in dark. We're thrilled to have you watching us on Night Vision, a way to connect you with the player that you needed to watch but couldn't be at the rink to see in person. And we hope you're enjoying our telecast today, our streaming telecast. Brian Crabtree bringing you the pictures, Kyle Schreck bringing the color commentary, and I'm Bill Schaefer.
You sound like you've done this before, Bill.
We've done it maybe like 15 times in the last 3 days. But man, is this fun. Youth hockey, what a great sport it is. It's not just players. We've seen so many times when you're involved in youth hockey, it's a family thing. And I know, Kyle, you working here at the rink, you get to know so many of the players and so many of the families, and 99% of them are just wonderful people to get to know, and they end up being friends.
Absolutely. You build relationships with everybody here, and Bill, I met you a few years ago, and now we're doing color. We're doing announcing together. So who knows? Got a penalty coming against Orlando.
Easy. Hey, that's it. Relax. I have 26 white. 26 white with the slash.
So Chris Zalick, definitely one of them going. He's 26 white with a slash. And sometimes, too, the Atlanta team has to remember not to take that second hit, which happened back there. It was not
26
called.
would have a minor for a slash.
Which was a good call, but they could have made the call on the retaliation back there. When you're down 1-0, you don't even want to give the referee a chance to do that.
Absolutely not. You get back into this game, you just got to keep cool heads. You get popped, You see the ref with his arm up, skate away.
So this is a great opportunity now for Atlanta. They've got a power play in the puck in the 9th zone. They can make something happen here in the second period. They only trail 1-0. A territorial advantage to the Orlando team can be erased in an instant here with a big power play goal. So let's see what Atlanta can do. Firing the puck up front, it's knocked away by Jake Brown. Brown on this forecheck has been relentless, even shorthanded. Brown gets the shot. Dean has to make the save and cover up.
There it is again, killing off the penalty in
very aggressively.
Killing off the penalty down in their end.
You know, you almost think as the Atlanta team that, well, we've got the power play, maybe we can take a second here, relax, and play our game. But when the forecheck is as strong as it is, you really can't. This time it's Brandon Beard winning the face-off. You know, it's those offensive zone face-offs. You've got to be able to hold your own serve on the power play. And look, the Knights are able to roll some time. Oh, Brandon Beard, a great shot and an equally great save by Dean. Here comes Atlanta out of their zone. Brandon Trevino dumps it in, and they go to forecheck to see if they can make something happen. Janowiak is the first one there for Orlando. They battle for the puck. Atlanta's got an odd man number there, which is what you want to see. But Brandon Beard skates away with it. Banks it off the glass and out to center. Puck comes to Garrett Myers. Myers dumps it all the way back in. First one there is Beard. Beard gets it across to Smealy. Smealy picks an opening and fires it all the way down the ice. And look, the Knights may be the first ones to get to it on the forecheck. There's Craven. He's able to pin the man against the boards. And wow, this is on a penalty kill. 2 Knights on 1 Atlanta player. You can't have that when you're a man up. Here he comes up the wing. Oh, big hit there against Garrett Myers from Jeffrey Pearson. Puck up along the wall, picked up by Craven. Craven's got great legs, and he bounces it up all the way in, and there goes Jeffrey Pearson on the forecheck. Picked up by number 24, Garrett Myers. Tries to get it ahead to Brandon Trevino. Now it comes over to Tanner Woodson. Into the zone, tries to find George, who just failed to deflect that in. So you see how quickly things can turn around. 10 seconds left in the man advantage. Now for Atlanta. They have the puck in the Knight zone, but it comes loose, and Dan Hill picks it, finds the open man. Pearson, who dumps it off. Held in again by Hill. Hill, the defenseman, shorthanded, who's pinching. And now the both teams back at full strength. Zalic out of the box, picks it up at the line. Knocked away, and we've got a nice chance for rush by Trevino, but nope. Keith Smealy comes off the bench to knock it away.
Yeah, Atlanta's only pushing 2 guys forward, it seems, on a lot of this. That center's hanging back, and they're just not able to enter the Orlando zone. They just don't have enough manpower up front.
Bob Benz picks the puck up in his own end. You know, and also when you're breaking out, when you pass to that forward out of your zone and the forward's coming backwards in your end, it's really hard to get that momentum going.
Yeah, the center man curls around, you got to find that winger up the boards. It's standard breakout. You learn it in squirts.
Here comes Smealy, fires the puck right back in. I think that's what Orlando wants to do right now. Play as much of this game as possible in the Atlanta end.
4 guys inside the top of the circles, forechecking.
Here's a break for Atlanta, though. They were 2-on-1 there for an instant.
Offside.
Yeah, they've got to tag back up, and in the meantime, we got Razan on a heavy forecheck. Atlanta moves the puck quickly. Back up the boards to Bartolo. Bartolo, again, his momentum is coming the other way, so it's easy to put the forecheck on. Goodman at the line, trying to hold it in. Picked up by Miskell. Miskell stops to make a play, flips it in front. Nice defensive knockdown there by Bob Benz, almost as a second goaltender. Goodman for Orlando fires it right back in. And look at Davis. Man, if you're number 17, Bob Benz, and you've got Davis right on you the second you get the puck, you have no choice but just to flip it to open ice.
Davis and Beard with the big sandwich on him there, down the boards.
They had an Atlanta sandwich right there, huh? Puck comes to center, picked up by Cook. Cook tried to find the centerman, taken away by the Knights, and here comes Dylan Scammon. He's got a chance. Scammon! Very dangerous hockey player. I'd like to say hi to his parents, TJ and Beth, who are watching the game today. Great, great people. Part of the RDV Sportsplex staff and family.
Yeah, goalie just caught that one with the butt of his stick. Oh, that's a really good shot. You don't see too many goalies get the butt end of the stick on that one. So he got above the blocker, well placed.
Faceoff's going to come all the way down into the Atlanta end where most of this game has taken place.
I've been given a note to give a shout out to Danny Hayflick's Uncle John and Cousin Sammy watching in Long Island.
Uncle John and Cousin Sandy, glad to have you with us here on Night Vision. Thanks for watching. Hey, what do you think? Danny's playing a pretty good game, huh?
Easy.
He's been very aggressive out there. He's been all over the ice. Here's Janowiak, the other defensive units out there now for the Knights. Atlanta trying to work the puck out of the zone. Speaking of great families, the Hoflick family, they're very involved. Their mom is the team mom. Their dad's involved in coaching. Danny's a great kid, too, and just a great example. Again, both players on both teams. It's not just the player. It's in a family affair when it comes to youth hockey.
When it comes to Long Island, the Islanders got a big win today against Tampa Bay. So
already today?
Yeah, they had a 1 o'clock game today.
Yeah, a lot of early games because of the Martin Luther King Day weekend. The hometown Solar Bears game started at 3. My son Evan worked his very first game as stick boy today.
Very nice, very nice. Is he helping out Watley?
Yep.
That's it.
Here comes Janowiak, couldn't hold it in, and the puck comes out. Now see, by the time Atlanta gets to the puck, there's an Orlando defender right there, and look who gains control.
Yeah, Orlando made a change on that, and they still were able to forecheck. So their speed is they're just capitalizing on their speed. But
3 Orlando Knights in front of the net. Craven wide open there. He's going to be the first one to the rebound. 25 seconds to go in the period. Tries to center it out front. Good play, knocked away on a very good play by the Atlanta defense.
Now, I got to mention, I just hear that every time. Craven, the first of the puck. Matt Davis, the first of the puck. These guys are just beating the Atlanta players. We got 10 seconds left, so they got to do something quick with it.
Aaron George, one-on-one, tries to get it in front on a good play, written off by the defense. That's about the only opportunity he had there, and that's going to do it. For period number 2, it's a very, very, very close game on the scoreboard. It doesn't look as close on the ice, but you know what? That could be in Atlanta's favor. What you do now is the coach say, look, we played most of this game in our own end. If we turn around, we play like we can play, short passes, support the puck, work it out as a team, spread the ice a bit, they can see that anything can happen, and one goal can change the complexion of this game. The next goal is going to be the decider. What do you think?
Oh, absolutely. But yesterday, Orlando just dominated Atlanta on the scoreboard and in the gameplay. So the fact that they're able to keep it within 1 goal right now is just that just says a lot about the team. And then just something breaks their way and they get a goal, and brand new ball game.
Atlanta's got a long ride back after this game, and they want it to be a happy trip. So they're going to give it everything they got. Folks, what a tournament we've had here. Over 100 games, 50 teams from the U.S., a few teams from Canada involved in this. Hockey in Central Florida. I'm not sure where you're watching from. Send us an email if you get a chance to let us know. Right under the video player there on the website is a link. You just click on it, send us an email, let us know who you were watching. And we'll continue to bring you as many games as we can. We have a tournament on Labor Day weekend that many of these teams are involved in. And this tournament, the MLK tournament, and league play throughout the season. And we may even be able to do this at the Florida State Hockey Championships at the end of February.
Excellent. I mean, there's just tons of games here every weekend. I don't have an ounce of dead ice until May right now at the rink. So we just have tons of hockey every weekend. If you're in the Orlando area, swing by on a Saturday or Sunday. You'll see some great hockey.
Yeah, May is my birthday, so book me an hour ice. I'll have a party.
There we go.
And if you're in the Central Florida area, or if you're rooting for one of these teams, come on up and check out this facility. It's world class. 2 sheets of ice, great Bear Bites snack bar, nice pro shop. You'll really enjoy it here. There's also an athletic club, second to none. For working out. Okay, here comes Atlanta, folks. A 2-on-1 break. One of the first odd man rushes they had. Nothing happens from that, but they are able to keep control. Garrett Myers in the corner. Myers doing a excellent battle in there, trying to keep control of the puck. Knights take it away, as they are relentless, Atlanta is, and so is Orlando. Puck comes into the Atlanta end. We're playing 5-a-side. It's been a very cleanly played game. Danny Hill steps up from his defensive position to try to make a check, and it slows Atlanta up enough for the Orlando team to get possession of the puck. It comes to Cam Kirshner. Kirshner loses it to Dylan Scammon. Scammon makes one move around a defender, one more to beat. Scammon is patient with the puck, hits Matt Davis with it.
Penalty coming on Atlanta.
Davis, for tying him up. I believe it's going to go against Atlanta.
Yep.
An interference penalty for taking Davis down in front. So can Orlando capitalize on this? They've done everything.
Looks like Davis retaliated, so we're going to be even. Just talked about that a few minutes ago.
And it'll stay 5-on-5 here.
Yeah, Davis caught him with a cross check after he got hauled down.
And that's a good call. We're just talking about how the game has been pretty clean. Even that's it's two guys battling for the puck, and you don't mind seeing that.
Just got notice from my live stats guy, Julio Guerra, that Solar Bears have tied it up with the Wheeling Nailers 1-1 with about 4 minutes left in the third period.
I'd give credit to the stick boy for the Solar Bears.
He taped him up real nice today, huh?
He picked out the right lie.
Well, I don't know. They scored 7 goals against this team the other night, so only getting 1 goal.
Orlando with the puck in the Atlanta zone. They go to work behind the net, looking to get it out front. Comes back to the point. Hoflick, he's got relatives watching him play this game. Back into the corner to Pearson.
Picked off.
Is knocked away, and back comes Atlanta. 2-on-2 play, trying to make something happen here. Raines Cook into the zone. He's got Bartolo in front. Oh, and he tried to slip it in front for George. Puck is held there at the corner of the Orlando net.
They battle for it.
Atlanta's got to get that to the point as quick as they can. There's going to be a penalty to the Knights. Yep. Orlando. Puck comes out of the zone. So they've got to pull everything back. Brent Scholes wants to get it back the other way. Puck goes into the Knight zone, and that's okay because they'll get that face-off in the zone unless that was an icing call.
That was an icing.
We've got a cross-check penalty. It's going to go against the boys in white, number 7, Jeffrey Pearson from Orlando, and this is exactly what Atlanta was hoping for.
Yeah, they were all scrumming in front and trying to protect their goalie, and I think there were more than just one penalty going on down there, but our guy's the one who got called, so that's the break sometimes.
Right, you play hard, you see what happens, whatever the referee calls is what is. So now the key is taking advantage of this opportunity. 11 minutes and 8 seconds to go in the third period. Atlanta is down by 1. They've got the power play. They need to make something happen right now. And Orlando, relentless on the forecheck, loves to kill these off. We'll see what happens here as the puck goes in the Atlanta end behind the net where it's picked up by Bob Benz. But look, Jake Brown is right there to bottle them back up. Forces him behind the net. Andy Weekley up ahead for Tanner Woodson. Woodson's at center, has to stop because of that forecheck. Woodson gets it up to the blue line where the defenseman Hill steps up and knocks it all the way back into the Atlanta zone.
It almost seems like Orlando plays better when they're down a man. They just seem tough.
They do simplify the game.
Yeah. That's offside. Yep.
It does in a way because you can simplify the game. You make it very easy. First guy goes for the puck. Second guy takes defensive. And that's what they've been doing, and it's very confusing to the forwards because you saw here twice, Danny Hill, who's a defenseman, instead of playing back as a defenseman normally would, was up in the neutral zone making aggressive plays.
Yeah. I mean, that's the old lock. That's how the Devils won those cups, playing that lock. They played it with 5 guys, so Orlando seems to be doing well with 4 guys doing it.
Knights flip it out to center where Atlanta takes over from there. They're on the power play. They want to get something going here. It's a 1-0 game. They need some offense, and this is the time to make it happen here in the third period. Great moves by Brandon Trevino. Shoots it all the way into the zone, and Bartolo goes in after it. Comes to the point outside the zone where the Atlanta team has to regroup. Bob Benz flips it back in, but there's Danny Hill right in the way.
Orlando's just stacking those 4 guys right across the blue line.
Right at the line.
And Atlanta needs to get that defenseman rushing up into the play there to give him an open man to pass it to gain entry into the zone, but they just can't do it right now. The 2 defensemen are sitting back too far, playing too conservatively.
And the other thing that really helps is the Orlando defense. It's not big bruisers. It's very fast, mobile skaters. So they can stand at the blue line, and even from standing still, when the puck's dumped in, they're the first ones back in the zone to get it. Oh, look at this break here. Is that Zalek? Shoots, big glove save. Oh, and he got robbed right out in front, and Dean holds his team in this game. 10 seconds to go in the power play, and here comes Atlanta. This may be their last rush. They keep the puck moving forward behind the net. There's Danny Holt. Nope, Keith Smealy there to get it. Fires it out to center. 1 second. No seconds on the clock as Pearson comes back out. Atlanta with the puck in the Orlando end. They dump it behind there. They've got to be more aggressive on that forecheck. They've got to fly like there's no tomorrow because this is the championship game and there is no tomorrow. Aaron George drops it back to number 25, Brett Scholes. Back up to George. That pass intercepted. That's Keith Smealy, the defenseman. Works in all by himself around the Atlanta defense. Smealy hangs on to the puck and goes to the corner to allow the Knights to come in and set up. Back to Goodman. Goodman finds the open man in front. It's Smealy again. The defenseman, who still stays deep, comes back to the blue line, fires it in front. It's knocked down by Atlanta, and it comes back out to center, where Smealy shoots it all the way down the ice. Puck in the corner for the Knights. Atlanta holds it in, and Zalick on the forecheck. Watching that clock tick down. The clock is the friend of Orlando and the enemy of Atlanta.
Penalty coming on Atlanta.
It's going to be, yep, definitely a trip. Who's going to the box, Kyle? Zalick's getting up limping. He's shaking his head. It looks like he's going to be the one that goes to the box. I had Zalick on my high school championship team last season. Very fast player, very speedy in spurts, got great acceleration and very good hands.
That was surprising that call went against Orlando. Very surprised.
So again, a golden opportunity for Atlanta. Make something happen here, guys. They move into the zone. Number 15, Tanner Woodson, comes in with authority. One of the few times they've really skated the puck in hard. Tanner Woodson trying to make something happen. The puck comes to Orlando, and it's got to be very demoralizing to see this happen. Tell Atlanta guys, you got to put your heads down and just skate hard. They've got to be fatigued. When you're playing against a team that's constantly on the forecheck and constantly in your face, it's so difficult. But Brandon Trevino can turn that around right now. Here he comes, a nice drop pass. Big moves by Woodson. Woodson in front, turned aside. Atlanta maintains control, putting on some pressure here on the power play. Into the corner, Woodson looks to make a play. They're showing good patience, gets it out in front. There's a scramble. Danny Hill clears it, but not out. It's Bob Benz. Benz tries to go for the numbers in front. Backhand drive, save Orlando, and they cover up for a face-off.
Ooh.
Now that's a fatigue and frustration penalty there. Atlanta started the momentum going. They had things going their way. 7 minutes to go in this game. A man advantage for another minute and 5 seconds. Very disappointing to see Brandon Trevino, who's frustrated and tired, take that penalty after the whistle, a little whack on the pants.
Yeah, took a Paul Bunyan chop right at the butt of one of the Orlando players.
And now it's going to be 4 aside for another minute and 5 seconds, and Orlando will have a 55-second power play. Can Atlanta keep the pressure on 4-on-4? They were getting it going in the offensive zone on that power play. Nice
Another
effort
penalty
there.
coming.
And it's going to be against Orlando. So, let's see what happens here. 44 picks the puck up. Raines Cook can't get it into the zone. Jeff Pearson picks it up. Here comes another call. Interference call on one of the Orlando Knights. Who's the one that's going to be making the trip to the penalty box?
41 White.
41 White. It's going to be so.
Clay Janowick. I think Clay's on the bench already. I think he made a change after.
And he's over. He's over there going, "Who, me?"
He may not have even been on the ice. It's those phantom penalties from the bench, you know?
You can hear the coach, the Atlanta coach, trying to line the guys up from where they are. This is so important now. 6:55. Out of everything that's going on, they are right in this hockey game now, Kyle. It's going to be 4-on-3. Atlanta can really make something happen right here.
Well, they can, but they just need to not take another dumb penalty like they did on the last power play. So they got a golden opportunity. 4-on-3, tons of open ice. 3 less players on a big surface. So
man, puck don't hold up. George is the first one there to hold it in. Turn around. George again finds the puck on his stick, gets it across to 25. Brett Scholes back to George. Look at George. He's going to try to get a shot off here. Instead, decides to be patient, takes it behind the net, looks for a guy out front, and there he is. Scholes with a big shot, and he scores! One man, the efforts of one player. We were waiting for somebody on the Atlanta side to step up. It was Aaron George. He found Brett Scholes right out in front, but that goal didn't come because of that. It came because George was everywhere in the offensive zone. forcing the issue, putting pressure on Orlando, and finding the open guy. What a great play.
Yeah, it was a great play. It wasn't the best shot, but hey, you got it to the net and it snuck through the goalie. We've been talking about it all game. That one break, that's all you need. And sure enough, they got it with 6 minutes left in the game.
It couldn't have come at a better time for Atlanta. Okay, so now how does Orlando react? They've had the big edge in play the whole time, but they've been unable to get the puck past Trevor Dean. Can they turn it on now, or is this the kind of boost that helps this Atlanta team take control and do even more damage? It's a 1-1 tie in a championship game.
Back to 4-on-4 hockey here, even strength.
No, stick whip.
2-on-2 now for Orlando. They come back into the zone, and you know how dangerous they can be. On the backhand shot, nice save by Dean, and he hangs on. As Mark Craven, I told you, he's one of those guys that comes from out of nowhere. A great offensive opportunity there.
Big face-off here. You know, Orlando's got to get this one back to their point men. Bust a guy right to the net.
So if you're Kevin Conway, coach of Orlando, what do you tell your guys? I mean, they've been playing great the whole game.
You tell them to keep shooting. Something's going to go in. Something's got to go in.
Into the corner now, Andy Weekland goes across to his defense partner, back to Weekland. 5:45 to go in this game. It's 1-1. This is the U18 AA championship game. Bartolo has it roll off his stick. Orlando gets it and starts back into the zone. This is Craven again with a man in front. It was Pearson. Shots deflected into the corner. Keith Smealy pinches into the zone and holds it in. Craven behind the net, fires it out. Nobody's in front. Smealy has to come back to his own zone to get it. Ahead for Hoflick. Hoflick around in the corner, fires it all the way up, but it's at center where Brandon Beard takes over.
Yeah, Pearson was going off for a change, and that just ended up going right to where he would have been. Right through the ghost.
Over skates, nice play to get it to Razan.
No ice.
Smealy fires it all the way into the opposition end. There to get it is Bob Benz. Benz off the wall, out front, over to Weekly. Weekly brings it to center. He establishes the zone, drops it back out in front, and that's Brandon Trevino who wants to make up for that penalty he got. Drops it back to Woodson. Woodson, nice centering play, and he's
big save.
That's it. Separate.
Wow, is this the same Atlanta team we saw in the first two periods?
Ooh, they're coming out with a little bit of fire under their butts in this period, man. They're getting to the net. They're working hard right now.
And the Orlando team is standing there looking around going, well, what just happened?
Yeah. You know, Orlando's got to get back to what they've been doing, the hard forecheck and getting deep in the Atlanta zone. They're getting away from their game right now. They've taken some dumb penalties. They've taken a good penalty too, but you know, they've taken a couple penalties and they've gotten away from it. So got to get things back to even and see how the scales tilt.
Look at Danny Hill working around one man, in on goal. Oh, nice shot, big save, Trevor Dean. Hill's there on the rebound. Remember, he's a defenseman who's pitching in the offensive zone.
Come on, really?
You can hear the referees in there trying to separate the guys. Actually, both of them doing exactly what they're supposed to. Danny Hill not giving an inch there as the puck lay on the mesh, and the defenseman for the Atlanta team, number 25, Brett Scholes, doing what he's supposed to do, making sure Hill doesn't get to it.
Got to protect your goalie. It's important.
Beard takes this offensive zone faceoff for Orlando. We've seen him have a lot of success, and this is an important one with 4:21 to go in the game. Puck goes into the corner. Liam McGrath is the first guy there, gets it for the Knights. Gets some pressure.
Almost looked like he was afraid to go in there and tangle with a big boy.
Beard looks to make a play, tries to fire it out in front, and Keith Smealy, who had come in from the point, can't hold it in. Gets it all the way back in his own zone. Comes Danny Hoflick against the forecheck of Tanner Woodson. Now see Atlanta doing a much better job with that speedy forecheck. Brandon Beard makes a move to go to his off wing. Breaks into the zone, goes behind the net, looks to make something happen, settles it down, curls again. He's got Louis DePaulo in front. Puts the puck at his feet, and it's taken away in a nice play by Atlanta's Brandon Trevino. Can't clear it out. Here come the Knights again. Quick shot, nice block in the defense. Rebound out front. Brandon Beard is robbed by Trevor Dean.
Man, tried going right around the goalie on that one. It was a beauty of a play. Bad turnover by Atlanta at their own blue line to allow that to happen.
They're changing on the fly, and here comes Keith Smealy into the zone with a full head of steam. He's got Scammon. Tries to center it for Scammon. Great defensive play. Into the zone is Pearson, and another great save by Dean. Boy, has he been a difference, Kyle, in this game.
Yeah, he's playing one heck of a game. He's made some big saves when he's had to, and his positioning has just been great. So he's made the easy saves.
3 minutes, 21 seconds to go in this game. It's 1-1. It's a U18 AA matchup. This is the championship of the MLK Day tournament. Jeffrey Pearson with the offensive zone faceoff. Can't get the draw. Atlanta does a great job to win it. Comes across to Weekly. Weekly races Dylan Scammon. Gets there first, but not out. Puck's in front to Matt Davis. Comes to Atlanta. Now it's at center. Scammon works into the zone. Nice move. Scammon runs into his own man, Davis. And it's taken away by Hollow Cook, who gets it out to center. Danny Hill works it there. These defensemen for the Orlando team love to rush. Hill gets it ahead to Scammon. Tried to split the defense, but couldn't. Puck comes to the point, not out. Matt Davis holds it in. Finds an open wing. Orlando had given way, picked up by Aaron George, who helped make that tying goal happen. Here comes Atlanta again. Cam Kirshner takes a rough ride into the corner. Who wants this one? It's Jeff Pearson. Nice move around Bartolo. Pearson moves in again, finds all kinds of room. Shots deflected harmlessly into the corner. Atlanta's doing a... penalties coming up to the night. So here comes Atlanta in a 1-1 game. Number 13, Cam Kirshner into the zone. Picked up by the Knights, and here comes the call. Let's see if we can hear it.
8 white.
This could be scanned.
Right here with the cross check.
Matt Davis on the cross check.
It was supposed to be 18. It was supposed to be Scammon. I saw it happen. Scammon was tangling with the Atlanta player at the blue line.
Let's go. Figure it out, buddy.
And,
it's a cross check.
They were tangling at the blue line, and Dylan Scammon just lost his temper.
Here's got minor cross check.
And cross-checked the guy on the way to the bench.
Well, has the table been set for the Atlanta Knights?
Yeah, you would think so. If everything holds true, we do go to 10-minute overtime, 4-on-4. So
do you have 10 extra minutes left in you?
I think so. I think so.
But oh my gosh, they have hung in this game. The Atlanta team has. They have hung in this game, held their ground, really come on here in the last half of the third period, and now with 2 minutes to go in this game, they have a man advantage.
Yeah, they sure do. It's been a tale of 2 games. This third period, Atlanta's been playing some solid hockey. Sure enough, they tie the game up. They're playing better, and now they're on the power play with 2 minutes left in the game. 2 minutes on the power play. This is a big opportunity for them.
I don't know about you, Kyle, but I sure could use one of those RDV Bear Bites hot dogs.
They got it wrong.
What a great day.
What are you talking about? Hot dogs?
Yeah, you know, you feel the old blood sugar going down game after game after game, and they've all been nail biters. They've all gone down to the wire. It's been fantastic action, and folks, I can't tell you how proud we are to be able to bring this to you on Night Vision. Hope you're enjoying it. You know, this is something different. The technology is available. The RDV Sportsplex here just happens to have a great internet connection, a big fat upload pipe. So we're giving you a great signal. We've throughout this tournament, we've had a live mic on referees. We've had a live mic on the player benches.
They didn't have this stuff, 12 years ago when I was playing U18. So it certainly has come a long way. This whole internet thing.
Yeah, really.
It's not just a passing fad, huh?
Sure hope it's helped you guys enjoy this great game. The final game of our tournament here, and it's 1-1 with less than 2 minutes to go. Atlanta on the power play. Let's see what happens here. Looking to make something happen is Woodson behind the net. Orlando gets control, picks the puck up, and fires it all the way down the ice. Dean sets it up for Weekly. Weekly just fires it up. Brandon Beard picks it up on the forecheck, centers it out front. Dean, it's loose in front, and here comes Atlanta. Orlando dangerous in any situation. Great forecheck here. Right out in front, loose puck. And Orlando starts back again. Brandon Beard's got Razan. Beard centers it out for Razan. It's knocked away by Cook and Trevino. Weekly has to chase after it behind his net. He beats Beard to the puck and gets it across to Scholes. And I tell you, both these teams are starting to look a little tired.
Yeah, on that attack, Razan would have normally been a lot more aggressive, but they're killing a penalty, so he curled it back a little bit earlier than he normally would have, just to make sure that they they didn't get a rush the other way.
It's an icing call here against Atlanta, who has a man advantage. 56 seconds to go in the game, 55 seconds left in the man advantage. So they've got 175 feet to go to find the Orlando net. From the faceoff, Atlanta wins it. It goes into the corner, picked up by Benz. Benz gets it around behind the net to Tanner Woodson. Woodson gets it up, taken away by Jeffrey Pearson. Pearson all by himself on the backhand, taken down.
Go. Penalty in Atlanta.
Taken down, tries to maintain control, and as soon as it's picked up by Benz, we're going to have a penalty. And I think it's going to be against who got it? Was it Woodson? Nope.
17, he's got a minor for a trip.
17, Bob Benz, who's played a lot of great hockey here in the third period. So now, Kyle, we find ourselves 4-on-4. This is a big, fat, wide sheet of ice. And we got some tired players out here.
Yeah, we've seen it even up a lot during this game, where one team will have a power play, and then the other team will commit a penalty, and that just shows how good the penalty killers are. Now being able to bust it forward and maybe get taken down.
40 seconds to go in the game. Now, it's also critical because this is a 2-minute power play, and it will carry over into the overtime if we go to overtime. It's a 1-1 tie, 40 seconds to go.
Like you said, 4-on-4 in overtime will be a 4-on-3 penalty, so 4-on-3 power play.
Danny Hill with a quick draw on that shot after Jeffrey Pearson won the all-important face-off. And Trevor Dean has been amazing. And you can hear the Atlanta coach all the way up here trying to encourage his guys. Atlanta turns in their own end. 4-on-4. 27 seconds to go in this one, and here they come. Can they get a scoring opportunity? Raines Cook brings it in the zone. Tries to center it out for George. Knocked away by Smealy. Smealy finds Pearson, who streaks to center. He's got a head of steam on the right side, and he puts it right into the logo. Pearson had a good opportunity there with a burst of speed. And Trevor Dean's been amazing in the nets for Atlanta, smothered it cleanly.
Yeah, nice looking save. He tried to go up over the shoulder and just hit him right in the shoulder, and
14
smothered it.
seconds, Kyle. 14 seconds to go in this one. Brandon Beard to take the face-off against Raines Cook. It comes out to the blue line, held in by Hill. 10 seconds now. Danny Hill fans on the shot.
On it.
But it's picked up by the Knights. Oh, and Dylan Scammon knocked one off the outside of the net. 2-1-0. And it looks like we are headed for overtime.
What a game. What a game.
1:19 left in power play time for the Orlando Knights. They will have the man advantage as we head in to what I believe is a 10-minute overtime, sudden death overtime period.
Speaking of overtimes, the Solar Bears have won in a shootout today,
Hey.
2-1. Must have been those sticks your son was taping, huh?
He's had plenty of practice.
Yeah, your boy's a little ball of fire, too. He's not the biggest guy out on the ice, but, man, does he have wheels. Not afraid of anyone either, so...
It sure is fun to watch, hockey players. It's size is important, but it's not the most important factor. You see kids like Matt Davis out there playing with Matt and Evan both went to the NHL pre-draft tournament last year in Boston, and they were, like I was saying, they played against a team from Boston that had two kids that were 6'7", and a lot of the players that were on Evan and Matt's team
not that big,
didn't have the stomach for it, and boy, those two kids never quit. Never quit.
I guess they build hockey players bigger up north or something. I don't know.
Evan and Matt, fortunately, they were just a little shorter than elbow height, so they were able to get under those 6'7" kids and move the puck along. It was really something to see.
Squeak through their legs or something.
Yeah.
Try to go dipsy-do underneath them.
It was tough. They both took a couple of really good shots.
Well, got to get back up and keep fighting.
Yep. And it's a big confidence builder, too, for some of the smaller kids.
All right. Looks like we're ready to go with this overtime,
So what do you think? What do you feel?
I don't know what to feel. It depends on who comes out more aggressively in this overtime. I mean, we got the Orlando team has a 1 minute 19 seconds left on that power play, so they haven't been able to take advantage of the power plays yet, but we'll see how it goes here. They've been playing great 5-on-5 hockey. Let's see if they can play some great 4-on-3 hockey and
all good weight.
notch a championship here.
Another thing to consider here,
go,
4 on 3 is they did switch ends. So we've got long changes. So if you can keep the pressure on a team, it's tough for their defense to get off the ice. And fatigue can be a big factor here. That can play into this thing. Look at Brandon Beard. He shows no fatigue. Coming out of the zone on the overtime. Brandon Beard works in. Quick shot. Nice save, D.
Right off the blocker. Brandon put it low blocker, and goalie got a good piece of it.
55 seconds to go in the man advantage. Puck's loose in front. And it finally comes to center. That was a dangerous looking play. Keith Smealy picks it up there to Brandon Beard. Dylan Scammon picks up. Works into the zone, leaves it on the blue line, held in there by Smealy, waits to make a play to Scammon. Scammon to Smealy, fakes the shot over to Scammon, trying to go east-west to make something happen. 35 seconds to go in the man advantage. There's the east-west pass to Beard. Shot comes across Scammon, spins and fires at a beautiful block at the defense. And the puck comes out to center. Knights have to regroup.
Atlanta was selling out to block those shots. They got the puck moving pretty good there, and Atlanta sold out and blocked them down.
Scammon to Smealy, shot from the faceoff dot, doesn't go. Has another chance at it. Scammon's at the point. Smealy looks back, 10 seconds to go. Scammon gets the wrister, nobody in front, and it goes into the corner. Liam McGrath, who's come out there, picks it up there. Brandon Beard behind the net. Beard to Smealy. Smealy wrister, save, rebound McGrath. The player's back on. We're 4 aside now. Big wind by Brandon Beard, and it's just saved by Trevor Dean once again. And that was a pretty strong power play for Orlando and a great penalty kill by Atlanta.
Yeah, those defense got in front of those shots, and they didn't allow that east-west pass to go through. And Orlando didn't really get a great shot off. Everything they got off was from the outside, right into the goalie's chest. Squared up real nice.
Jeff Pearson from the faceoff moves the puck forward. Atlanta picks it up there. Brett Scholes takes it out. Scholes headmans the puck nicely to Rains Cook. Carrying it forward is Cam Kirshner. Nice shot, knocked into the corner. Atlanta turns it back the other way. It's Scholes. Scholes gets it to Kirshner, who takes a hit but moves it forward. Picked up by Cook, who centers it in front. And it goes in! Oh my, oh my! How about this Atlanta team? Look at them go crazy. And if you're up there in Georgia, go crazy, folks. Go crazy.
What an innocent looking play. Just a little dump from the corner. Hits the goalie right in the paddle. Goes over his shoulder.
They came from nowhere. They had nothing in the first period. It was all Orlando. In the second period, the forecheck of Orlando was relentless. Atlanta couldn't get on track, but they hung in this game. In the third period, the tide started to turn. Atlanta became emboldened. That was great play by Aaron George, who ended up getting the tying goal, forcing an overtime, killing off a power play, and getting a goal. You want to call it a fluke, whatever. They were smart enough to throw the puck at the net. They got the positive bounce, and they win the championship here at the MLK tournament.
Yeah, the spotter just let me know that hitting Orlando stick in front before getting on the goalie, so that definitely crossed him up. And
right, it did look like it hit an Orlando defenseman, but you know what? That's part of the game. That's the way you play it, and it's what you do. And boy, the Atlanta team, who got pounded last night by the same Knights team, came back confident. And I tell you what, the Orlando team, I would be awfully proud if I was Kevin Conway, the way those guys played. What do you tell, like we talked about, what do you tell them to do any different?
The goalie played a heck of a game, and you know the defense looked good, and they kept them off the scoreboard. It was a great defensive effort for the Atlanta Knights.
Oh, okay. So we're going to take you down ice side here in a minute to see if we can talk with the coach of the Atlanta team, maybe a player or two. I don't know if this is going to work because they're going to give the mic to Louis DiPaolo, who's one of the coaches of the Orlando team that just lost. But he's the president of the OIHA, and he's been the color commentator for all of these broadcasts here, doing a fantastic job. And maybe we'll be able to get some comments from some of the guys down there. How about that Atlanta team? And it is going to be a happy bus trip home or happy car ride home.
Yeah, however they came down here, and man, they put it together for this game, and sure enough, they're walking out with the gold medals.
No shame either way, boy. I'd be awfully proud to be wearing either color jersey in this game.
Yeah, Orlando's receiving their medals now for just a tough loss. Atlanta put it together, and they were able to come out victorious in this one.
Look at Lewis down there. He's still in shock. Hurts the coaches often more than the players.
Yeah, the players for Orlando, they're still smiling. They're putting up a number 2. They're like, hey, we finished second. You know, they have fun with it. They get to play good hockey.
And I love this part too, Kyle. The handshakes all the way down. These guys know each other. They compete hard. These are great kids. There is no snide talking. Believe me, I've been in many of these lines. You have too. They get to know each other. They're friends. It's very cool. They share a common bond.
Yeah, like you said about the coaches taking it harder than the kids. A lot of these coaches are dads too, and you know how those hockey dads sometimes they like to live vicariously through their kids, and when they take it harder than their kids sometimes when they lose.
And Orlando wanted to be a good host, but not that good.
Right.
It was great to have the Atlanta team play well, but not so fortunate to have the Atlanta team win. How did you guys do that up there in Georgia? You were spectacular. Your backs were against the wall. Oh, my gosh, your kids were counted out. I bet you didn't count them out, though. Or did you? Tell the truth. Were you a little worried there, the way things were going? With that power play in overtime, Orlando had shot after shot, rebound after rebound. Did you sort of worry? But I tell you what, your kids showed you something, didn't they? They stood up, they kept going, they moved the puck forward, and they got that break to win the game and the tournament.
They played with a lot of heart. Heart of a champion. They do deserve it. So, it's a story like you get out of, you've seen it in Miracle, and you've seen it everywhere. The one team gets pounded, and then they come back in the championship game and end up pulling it off.
All right, Louis DiPaolo down there at ice level right now. Louis, hey, can you hear us, Coach? The Atlanta coach has the headset on. They're trying to get that ironed out. We've got him turned up. I'm not sure if the mic is turned on. We'll see if they can. Coach, Louis, are you there? Are you there, Louis? Can you hear us? Louis can hear us now. I think the microphone. I'm not getting any feed from the coach. Hey, Coach, how are you? I'm not hearing the mic. Louis is going to turn that on for us.
I'm here.
Hey, there you are. Oh, my gosh. We could hear you. We could hear you in the third period, and we could hear you in the overtime period, shouting out instruction to your team. The thing that we commented on, Coach, you weren't panicked. You weren't freaking out. Your guys were bottled up almost the whole game, but here you were, calm as could be, keeping your guys motivated and keeping them focused. Tell me how you did what you did.
Well, I think that a lot of it is just, I'm coming from the junior hockey level coaching, so just, I guess, a little bit of experience with that, but knowing that I know the way we need to play with a team as much skill that Orlando has, and we kind of have to play a little different style because we don't have as much skill, so just trying to keep the guys motivated on the bench a little bit, but under control, because we need to make sure we're staying under control to stay with it.
Tell the truth, Coach. How worried were you after the loss last night, and then seeing after the first period, maybe even the second too, a huge territorial edge to the guys in white?
Well, I knew it was coming. I mean, even last night, Lonnie and I was talking, and I probably worked on it today for. You still there?
Yeah, we got you.
2 hours probably today, just thinking about how we were going to be able to stay with them, and I'll be honest, we are not even close to the same level of skill, but just proves that if you play the right way, that you got to be there at the end to get a lucky bounce, and fortunately today we did.
Tell me about Trevor Dean.
Al Diener, he's the only guy we have here today, so he played it fantastic all weekend, and it started right on Saturday when our first game, and he has confidence in himself, and we have confidence in him, and he did an unbelievable weekend.
Hey, Coach, can you explain a little bit about what it's like to coach these guys at this age and at this level? Why did you choose this age group to be a part of, and why are you involved in hockey?
Well, this is my job, so it's, in a certain sense, it's I moved from the junior hockey level in the Eastern Junior Hockey League with our program to the youth division, and I'm involved with almost every team we have. We have 5 travel teams, and it ends up being 13 total teams at my facility. So it's kind of it's a different age group for me because I want them to really come to the rink and be ready and motivated, but at a certain time I understand that it's 18U and some of these kids are just playing for fun now and some are trying to move on.
Coach, what's the situation in Atlanta after the loss of the Thrashers? How is the health of youth hockey in Atlanta?
I think that the rinks are doing a pretty good job. I think the major issue is making sure you're getting the kids in at the grassroots level, and the kids that come and love it, they'll be there for 10 years. It's just the fact you just got to make sure you get them in your building.
What did you think of this tournament?
It's fantastic. This is one that I know my assistant coach has been here for I think the last 5 years at least. He said he's been here every year they've had one, so from Pee Wee all the way up. So I knew we were coming here right at the start of the year, and it didn't disappoint. So it was a fantastic job by everyone.
Listen, we want to congratulate you, and we also want to thank you. We want to thank you for taking your holiday weekend to come down here to bring your guys along with you. You brought a class team with you, a class act, character players up one side and down the other, and you really helped make this a fantastic tournament.
Thank you guys very much.
Great to have you, Coach. Hope we see you again.
All right, sounds good.
So, Kyle, there you go. I mean, it doesn't get any better than that.
Yeah, tough loss for the Orlando Knights, but they'll be stronger for it. They'll be going on to their tournaments in the Central Florida Hockey League and the statewide league and whatnot, and they'll be stronger for it because they sometimes you got to lose those tough games. Better to lose them in a tournament than to lose them in the league when you're playing for the big cup.
A couple of people. Trevor Dean comes up now. He was a netminder, and he was the difference. Folks, a couple of people to thank. Jeff Ning, who's the guy out there putting the medals around the players. He was a tournament director. There's the championship banner. Take a look at your Atlanta Knights. They are the champions of the MLK tournament, and their banner will be hung up in their home rink, and they will look at it with pride. I also want to thank, besides Jeff Ning, Louis DiPaolo, the president of the Orlando Youth Hockey Association, the creator of this tournament, the creator of Night Vision, where we've allowed you to be able to see this action here. I want to thank Kyle Schreck for doing the play-by-play with us, and Brian Crabtree's been a fabulous volunteer doing the video. And we also want to thank you. We want to thank you for having the temerity to have your kids involved in hockey, to be rooting them on, to encourage them as they grow. These kids are 18 now. They're on the threshold to becoming men, and this sport helps make boys transition into men like no other. It helps them with so many life skills. Jewel Garris helped us out all weekend, coming in at 6 in the morning and 5:30 in the morning. We want to thank the RDV Complex for being the most incredible host and a great facility. And I've had a blast bringing the games to you. My name's Bill Schaefer. This is Night Vision. Let us know if you liked it. Let us know if you enjoyed it. And don't forget, as the seasons go on, bring your teams back down to Orlando. Come experience this facility and this city, play some hockey, and we'll have you on the air again once again. Kyle, any last words?
No, that's it, Bill. You pretty much summed it up. Thanks for having me today.
So I'm kind of filling here so you get to watch your team pose for their pictures at one net or the other. Hope you enjoyed the broadcast. We'll be back with a lot more for you. And support hockey wherever you are. And we'll see you once again.